What is going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the Sports Your Enthusiasm podcast. This is your weekly podcast about all of your favorite sports, topics, and events. You know me. I am your humble host, Bryce Benjamin, and I have a very special guest in the building joining me today from the Not Your Average podcast, my own flesh and blood, my cousin, Tiffany Estell.
What up, y'all? What up?
What's going on, Tiffany? How you feeling?
I'm chilling. Everything's good.
That's
How
good.
you?
I'm wonderful, man. I appreciate you joining me this morning, coming down.
Yes.
Here to talk a little bit of football.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. You know, we got a podcast collaboration going on.
Yes.
Love doing these.
Absolutely. This is a treat for me. I tell you. I always wanted to be on your show, and I'm glad you reached out. So I'm excited and nervous at the same time.
Listen, this is gonna be a good episode. I already know how this is about to roll.
Cool.
So on today's episode, as you can see by the title of the show right now, we're talking Week 14 football. This is basically Football Friday for us here at SYE. So we're going to go through each game. We're going to give our takes on them. We're going to give our picks on them, obviously. And then we're going to talk a little bit of the top 10 NFL teams we got going on right now. Tiffany said that she wanted to maybe talk about the top 10 NFL quarterbacks in the league right now. And these are all opinion based. Yes. All right. So
don't beat us up.
Exactly. And then also we're going to talk, the top 5 power rankings for MVP currently right now as well. But before we get too deep into the show, Tiff, I want to give you an opportunity to let the listeners know your fanhood. So you're going to rep your fanhood here. Favorite teams, sports, players, whatever you want to let the fans know about you. Please, the floor is yours.
All right, everybody. I'm T, and I am a Buffalo Bills fan, y'all. Mm-hmm. So, Bills Mafia all day. All day. Hey. You know what? That's what's up. Let's go, Buffalo. So, my top player right now is my quarterback, Josh Allen. And also, too, I ain't going to lie, Lamar Jackson is balling, so I have to give him props all day.
Yes.
Also to Bruce Smith. I just watched the Bruce Smith and Barry Sanders, Buffalo Life, the Football Life, whatever. Dope. Those two are dope. So I've always liked Barry Sanders as a running back. So that's my
opinion. The greatest running back of all time, and arguably the greatest football player of all time. Yeah, that dude was something special.
Yeah, and then he just stopped. Mm-hmm. Like he just walked away from the game in his prime.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, but then when I was watching it, I understood why he did it. Like he was done.
Yeah, you have a talent like that, and you can't surround him with a team. You kind of just waste his whole career.
He wasted, y'all wasted this dude's, not life, but he was so passionate about his determination towards this game. It was done.
Right.
It was done.
Right.
Yeah. So that's me, a fan of Buffalo. So don't hate y'all.
Respect. Man.
Get on that wagon now.
There it is. Yeah, man. Shout out to Buffalo. We're gonna talk about that game because if
it's very important.
Listeners know who I'm rooting for.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my Baltimore Ravens, and we got them boys this week.
He got this jersey hung up in this darn thing.
You already know. You already know what time it is. Raider legend.
That's what's up.
All right. So for the Week 14, obviously Week 14 has already kicked off. Started last night, and we had the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Chicago and playing the Chicago Bears there. This game I watched. I watched a little bit of it. I was watching that in my 76ers play, which they lost to the goddamn Washington
the Wizards.
Wizards, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Wizard has a team like that?
I guess so. Or we don't have a team like that in Philadelphia. It's crazy.
Right. Up and down. That's all.
Man.
Up and down.
But so last night there we had the Dallas Cowboys and Chicago Bears playing. Dallas again blew it.
Listen,
lost to the Bears 24-31, and honestly, it wasn't even that close.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I watched all the way up to the third quarter and watched some of it this morning. I don't know what's going on with Dak, and I don't know what is this team? Mm-hmm. They don't even have an identity.
Yeah. Jason Garrett. I mean, at this point, he should have been fired.
He should have been fired after we beat him.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody thought that he was going to be fired after that game.
You know what? I think it's one of those things as well. Jerry Jones is very stubborn. Yeah. And he kind of put his foot where his mouth is by saying that Jason Garrett is going to finish the season no matter what. And I think he's just one of those guys that just lives by the courage of his conviction.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he kind of just doesn't want to go back on his own word, which I kind of respect, but at the same time,
you're gonna lose. You're losing your players.
Yes, that team quit. That team quit on Garrett. They quit on their coach. They just don't try. It doesn't look like they're giving it up their all. You know what I mean? First
opening drive, same as last week against the Bills. Same opening drive. Mm-hmm. They went down there and scored, and after that, they were done. Mm-hmm. Like, where are you? Like, I don't know what's going on, and not even that. Chicago is not even a great team,
right?
Like, their quarterback is not even, like, yesterday he looked like he was an all-star right there, MVP.
He looked like a first-round pick.
Right, yeah.
He looked like a comparable first-round pick.
And Dallas made him look good.
It's shocking, too, because you look at Dallas's roster, and I feel like this is like a broken record for me because I continue to say this. They have one of the most talented rosters from top to bottom in the NFL.
If it's not, like, it's the same as the Browns. The Browns have a talented roster as well. So does Dallas. Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing?
Right.
Like, I don't understand it. I was watching that game yesterday. It was just like, the Bears, they're not even that great. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Their defense, yes, but their defense isn't the way it was maybe two years ago.
Last year.
Right. Yeah,
even
right.
Last year.
Right.
That Bears defense was I'm like, damn, you watch them play. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're still a solid unit, and that's the thing about Chicago. They're always going to have
yeah.
But like, I just don't get the Cowboys, man. I don't like Jason Garrett. He doesn't have this team. He doesn't rally this team.
You can see that the team is like, he doesn't have it.
Like, Dak Prescott, he's still putting up numbers, but it's kind of just empty stats at this point. You know what I mean? Like, he's leading the league currently in passing. But, like,
I don't understand that.
They're 6-7. You know, they don't. I don't think they feed Ezekiel Elliott enough.
Enough, yeah.
That I think
because they go away from him.
Right, they go away from him way too much. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know. I think I do know. I think the ultimate answer to the reason why they're playing so bad is because of Jason Garrett, and he's not being a head coach.
No, he's their friend.
You know what I'm saying? He's not putting the players in the best position to win. He doesn't galvanize the team. They seem like they're very uninterested in playing for him. Mm-hmm. And this problem isn't going to be rectified until they eventually move forward from him.
And can you believe that they can still make the playoffs?
Yeah, they're still leading the division as we speak.
They're 6-7, right?
Leading the division. They're the current division leaders.
I don't understand that division. I get football. But I don't understand how a person, 7 and 17 weeks, right, in this game, right?
7, yep.
They can 7 to 10, and they can make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. When the Bills are like 9.
6, they get bye week.
Yeah, right. And the Bills struggle and can't make it. Like, and you can make it. Like, right? I don't understand that. I don't get it.
It's crazy. Like, you look at this division overall, the NFC East. And right now you have Dallas and Eagles as the quote-unquote 2 top teams. You know it's a bad division at this point when the Redskins are currently sitting, as we speak, 3-9.
Yep.
And still
can be in it.
Like, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
They can still win this division. Like, that makes no sense to me.
Oh, my God. Yeah. When Miami is 3-9 and there's no way they can make it.
Exactly. And it doesn't seem like Dallas and Philly just seem like they don't want to win. Like, this is literally second or third week in a row where Dallas has lost. Mm-hmm. Philly has a chance to win the game.
And Philly's lost.
Right.
And they lost to who?
Last week.
Miami?
They lost to Miami.
Go figure.
By the way, that game, did you see that trick play?
Miami's trick play?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, so there was like on the 1 or 2 yard line. And they got into like a formation where the kicker.
Yes, the kicker ran it in.
Yeah, they did the fake. And then the kicker, the punter passed it to the kicker for the touchdown.
Right, yes.
Yeah, that was probably the greatest play I've ever seen in my life.
Well, Miami does some trick plays.
Yeah.
You know that New England game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was crazy. Last year.
It was just tossing it and made a touchdown.
And you had Gronk looking like the Terminator.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was tough.
Yeah. That was a tough one, yeah.
So, ultimately, man, I honestly don't know what's going on with that division. I've said that I think that the Eagles would ultimately win it, but every time I say that, they come out and then
and
they
lose.
lose to teams like Miami, who, albeit Miami's playing tough. Like that's a tough team to play, especially in Miami. But still, you can't lose that game.
Yeah, and Fitz magic. He does his thing. He's a very smart quarterback.
It's crazy. Like he's so bipolar. Like 1 minute, the dude would throw 4 or 5 interceptions in a game. Literally, the next week, he comes out and has a game like he did against Philly, where he throws, 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's
is going
a
on?
solid backup.
He is. He really is. If you can have Fitzmagic as a backup,
you'll be all right.
You're going to be your quarterback goes down for a couple of games. You're going to be.
He'll give you. If your quarterback's down for like 2 games, like you said, he'll give you one of those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he will, and possibly he can give you 2.
Seriously.
But he'll give you 1 for sure.
That's a fact. That's a big fact.
Yeah.
All right. So that was that game there. Shout out to Chicago. And I mean, let's speak on Chicago real quick. Shout out to Trubisky.
Yeah, man.
I like to give credit where credit due. I've been hard on Trubisky this season.
He deserved it.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm still not a fan of him, but these last couple of weeks, he's looked very good.
Mm-hmm.
Back-to-back games, throwing for over 300 yards and 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. This game, he was 23 of 31, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception.
That's what's up.
So he's looked really good, and Chicago has won their last 2 games, and Chicago is not out of it yet. They can still potentially snag a wild card spot over the right now. Minnesota has that last wild card spot.
Yeah.
So they could potentially sneak in there if Minnesota falters, and Minnesota got Kirk Cousins as their quarterback, so that could happen.
Well, Kirk,
my man, Captain Kirk.
Yes, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Mr. Trubisky. He's looking pretty good these last couple of weeks. The defense is playing very well.
Finally, putting it all together.
Nagy, he has that team rolling right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like he kind of he switched up his play calling, it looks like.
Oh,
I think he's putting Trubisky. He's not making him be that
pocket quarterback.
He's getting him out of the pocket.
Yeah.
He
needs to run,
play a little bit more free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I think is helpful for him.
Yeah, he needs to. Like, I mean, you know what I get tired of? Coaches just not allowing their quarterbacks to do what is natural for them to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like Lamar Jackson. He's not a pocket quarterback. Mm-hmm. The man, let him run. Same thing with Tyrod was same way. But all these coaches now want them to stand in a pocket. Like, no, let them do let them do what they want to do.
Right.
Let them be out there and just slinging it like that.
Mm-hmm. Let them play their game.
I tell you right now, it's going to change the league. Like Lamar, he's going to change the league. It's not going to be a lot of quarterbacks just standing in that pocket anymore. Yeah,
and you can kind of see right now, like you look at the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, which in my opinion, like 4 of them are more of a mobile. They're not just stationary quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
They're not that Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that quarterback, and I mean, I think there's always going to be a place in the NFL for that standard drop back quarterback, just because that's the way a lot of these GMs think.
Yes.
Like they're old heads, and it's one of those things like, okay, you can't win a Super Bowl unless you have that Tom Brady, Peyton Manning type quarterback. But you've seen the success of these quarterbacks now. You look at Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, man.
And even like Aaron Rodgers. Who isn't as mobile as he was before.
Right. But he has to move around, and he knows it.
And he can move.
Yeah.
He's not just a standing target.
And like Drew Brees, he's not mobile like that, but he moves around.
Right, exactly. But, so it's a changing league. I love it personally.
Me too.
Yeah, I love seeing it.
Me too.
It's a beautiful sight. All right, so let's go on through the rest of Week 14 here. Okay. All right, so the next game we got on our slate here, we got Carolina traveling to Atlanta. Okay. So Carolina is Atlanta is the favorite. It's -2.5, and the total spread here is 48.5. So before we get too deep into this game, Carolina is going to be entering into this game with a interim head coach. So the news that broke over this week is that the owner decided to go ahead and move on from Ron Rivera and ending his tenure 9 years with the Carolina Panthers, which. Did you know that Carolina, even though they won the division like multiple times, they've never